Welcome to Roxtalks, the podcast that helps network marketers grow their business on social media. I'm Roxanne Wilson, and today we're going to talk about the gambler. What? You got to know when to hold them, when to fold them, know when to walk away, know when to run. In the holidays, we're going to be talking about how you're going to get that working, and you know when to do that in the holidays. So we'll be right back with all the good things. Before we dive into the gambler, I want to invite you to check out the Network Marketers Holiday Toolkit. I'm so excited about this because this really was a culmination of all the things that you've told me that you need in one place in different ways. So if you're a DIY person and you're like, Roxanne, I enjoy you, but I want to figure out this holiday stuff by myself and not do a live workshop, that's totally fine. I have a great kit for you where you can get all of the guide to working out your holiday goodness, as well as spreadsheets, the whole 9 yards to dive into it. Now, if you're someone who's like, actually, I want that, but I want to see what you guys are working on. I want that workshop. I'm no longer doing live workshops, but that's okay. You can get the recorded version of the workshop and get all the goodies. Also in the toolkit, you have an opportunity to get templates, 100 templates, holiday templates, that's going to help you really brand yourself and brand the style and look on social media for you. And then last but not least, by popular demand, you started, a lot of you did the workshop and you loved it, but you want accountability during the holiday season. And I'm all for that. And I think that's a fantastic idea. And so this Saturday, join me for an implementation workshop. What it's going to be really is, now that you've started, hopefully you've started your holiday or you're about to start it if you didn't start yet in October, that's great. You're going to be able to bring any questions you have. Now you're diving into it. We're going to work through your plan for the next 4 weeks. So it is on the 24th. We're going to work through that last week in October, as well as the 3 weeks leading up to, of course, the official Black Friday. Y'all, this is going to be fantastic for you and really help you because holidays is the time to work it out. I digress. For more information, just go to socialstoriesmembership.com/holiday or click on the link below if you're watching. All right. So we're going to dive into it. And yes, if you've not heard The Gambler, the great Kenny Rogers, may he rest in peace, not only starred in that movie, but also, of course, sang the song The Gambler. And I remember when I was little, my dad used to always play the song, and he'd sing it, and we'd sing it with him. And he'd always do the little double clap and whatnot, and when to hold them, when to fold them. There's a lot of good information you can learn from a gambler, or at least from that very song. Knowing when to hold them, knowing when to fold them, when to walk away, when to run. Network marketers, I'm talking to you. You know that. We don't always know when to hold them. We really don't know when to fold them, when to walk away, when to run. And in the holiday season, it is so uber important that you have a handle on that. So let's talk through that, because you're probably working out a holiday strategy that has multiple specials. You're juking and jiving, things are going on. The first thing I want to tell you is this. If you're like, actually, Roxanne, I was going to do one special, and that was my special for the entire holiday season, all 90-ish days, then I recommend you rethink that, because we like flashy things, right? As consumers, we like flashy things. We like seeing this special and that special. And I really want to encourage you to keep it moving and have variety. Now, that doesn't mean that if one's not going well, you're going to hold it, right? And keep going on. But dying on the mountain of one item or one special that you're doing for the entire time, I do not recommend that. So here's the first thing that we learned from The Gambler. Time constraints are a very valuable thing. When you're looking at your specials, make sure you have some sense of urgency. Sense of urgency being this offer expires on such and such day. And please, 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 pretty please. And if you went to my workshop, you know this. No more than 30 days is as long, and that is long. The month of is the longest you should do something. And that is really for maybe a drawing but not for a get a or a special offer. But just remember that if you make that, okay, that's my special for the month, and I'm just going to work that special, I would recommend adding some little sprinkles, right? We all like little sprinkles or little cookie dough inside of our ice cream. You need to add that to it, okay? The other way you can do a time constraint or a sense of urgency. So you have the time constraint is one for sense of urgency. The second you can do is limit the amount of people that can get a special offer. So you can limit it and say next 5 or the first 10 or the first 20. That is a good way for people to feel a sense of urgency. Don't you think? I mean, you think about it. When someone says only 5, you're like, I've got to have it. That's traditional Black Friday, right? Back in the day when it was like, get here at 6 a.m. and we have 10 of these big screen TVs for $20. You would stand in line or spend the night or whatever it is to be one of those first 10. So that sense of urgency is huge, and that really works. So ask yourself as you're doing it, do you have a sense of urgency? Now, this is a big one, okay? When we talk about knowing when to hold them, when to fold them, when to walk away, when to run, I want to get specific into that, because what I know to be true is this: we'll put out a special, and then we'll do it for a day and go, it's not working. It's not working. No one's buying it. And then we're like, I need to move to something else. So-and-so said she did that special. I'm going to try that. And then you're like, that didn't work for me. Let's really let's deconstruct that for a second, shall we? Because here's the reality of it. Whenever you do any special during the holiday season, which is a great training ground and beyond, whatever it may be, you've got to track what you're doing. When someone comes to me and says, Roxanne, that special didn't work, my first question is, show me what you offered. Let's look at what the offering was. Was it clear? Could I understand it? Could someone understand it very quickly? And then the second thing you want to look at is, what were my barriers of entry? Did I have to talk to you and have a meeting before I could get the special? Or is it something I could just click on and go straight to and do it while I've got one hand doing that, the other hand homeschooling? That makes a difference, right? The other thing you've got to look at is, did you promote it? Posting it on your social media once does not a promotion make. How many of you will watch a commercial on TV and you see it over and over again and then it just resonates with you? Recently, and I actually am not someone who's very swayed by commercials. So I often hear the commercial, but I don't see it. This is me. So I know the song to every commercial, I couldn't tell you what's going on in it. But recently I stopped and paused and I saw the end of a commercial and I just chuckled so hard. I was like, Scott, that's hilarious. Some commercial where the guy comes out in a top, but he's wearing his boxers or his briefs. And he's like, I thought it was a Zoom meeting. And because people are there and it was not a Zoom meeting. And Scott's like, I'm like, oh, that's so cute. That's new. He's like, that's not new. That's been around for a while. I didn't remember seeing it, but we've seen it several times. Why? Because you've got to see something over and over and over again. So ask yourself, and those of you who went through my workshop, or if you're thinking about getting that great guide I have put together for you, for those of you who want to DIY it, part of what you get is a spreadsheet that helps you track your specials. And it asks you specific questions about how you promoted it. Here's the important thing that I know to be true. If you're like, well, I put it on Facebook once and no one came. Well, how many people actually saw it? Not enough. So you cannot judge a hand, I should say, of cards. I'm going back to the gambler, based on whether it works if you did not promote it efficiently. And we know 8 to 12, maybe even more than that, different ways to promote it. That does not mean be annoying. It means be creative and get it out there in different ways. That's why I encourage putting it on whatever social platforms, media platforms you're currently on. And in different ways, right? Because you can do it different ways on Facebook and on Instagram. There's different ways you can put it out there. That's why I encourage an email system to send it to your people is important. That's why I also encourage text messages, which if you're like, oh my gosh, all these things you encourage, go to the holiday page, socialstoriesmembership.com/holiday, and you can get access to my recommendations on all these things. But they're so super uber duper important. And that's what's going to help you take it to the next levels, knowing when a special works. You cannot say a special does not work if you didn't work the special. I'm going to say that again, because that might preach. You cannot say a special doesn't work if you didn't work the special. Another way, with my elite members, which I've got to find some way. In fact, coming soon to you, probably in the next week or so, you're going to be able to see the holiday guides they have been working on with my design team, and they are phenomenal. And I was with them. We had a special coaching session this week. And I said to them, I want to remind you, your holiday guide could be the best looking guide out there. But if nobody knows it's out there, doesn't matter, right? You've seen products and things are like, that is not even a good product. Why does everyone like it? Because they promoted the heck out of it. Because they worked it. You have to work it. Okay. So remember that. That's huge, 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 huge. And if you go back and look at it and go, you know what, I really didn't promote it, then you can't say the special didn't work. You can say you didn't work, but you can't say the special didn't work. So you need to know if you've done those things and you've done all the things, and I list all of the things in that spreadsheet, and you've done them all and it's not working, then it's time to fold them, right? But if you haven't, then it's time to hold it. The other thing that's uber duper important is this. You may consider if a special's really working for you, you're like, I don't want to give up the special. You may not give it up. You might extend it, and that's totally fine. Now, I wouldn't recommend extending it like another week, but extend it a couple days and see if it has some teeth. The other thing you can do, because we're in a 90-day stretch or a little less than 90 days now, is this. If it's working really well for you and you've gotten what you want out of it, you can bring it back. You guys, you don't have to have 10 different specials for the holiday season every week. You can come back to ones that really were working for you. So remember that as well too. That's huge. Okay. That's going to help you know, so you can come back to it, right? So you're going to know when to fold them, when to hold them, when to walk away, when to run. When do you run? When it is tanking, McTanking. And again, after you've done the review of it and you know it's tanking, you got to run, right? If you're like, I've done everything, it's not working, then maybe that's just not a way that your market, maybe they're not receptive to it. But here's the other great thing about the holidays. And you guys know, I love the holidays. I mean, I love it as me, Roxanne, but I love it as a retailer, as a business person as well too, because there's so much to learn. If you're like, gosh, I'm in network marketing, but I didn't think of myself as a business person. That's okay. These next 90 days you are, and I hope you enjoy it because it's like a little crash course for you that's going to help you throughout the entire year. You are a business person. You are a CEO. And I really don't want you waiting for your company to come out with something. When they come out with something, that's an added bonus you can use. But don't wait for them because it's too late. If you're still waiting, if you're sitting here and this episode comes out on the 21st of October and you've done nothing for your holidays, then I cry foul. That makes me so sad because you can't wait. You can't wait. In fact, today I'm recording this on the 14th, which is the last day of Amazon Prime Day. You know that Amazon has been kicking booty over the last 24 hours on their sales. You know that? And they have all sorts of sales going on. If ever you're like, I don't know, look at what they're doing and see what resonates. We got to go to the grocery store, and being in California, that's a big deal. That's like, I don't know, going to Disneyland used to be or something. We got to go to the grocery store yesterday. And as we were at Whole Foods, I was opening up my little app and I was like, what's this? And there's a little bling bling. And sure enough, as they're checking out, the gentleman checking us out was like, be sure you've got $10 that you can use on Amazon Prime Day because you shop at Whole Foods. I'm like, excuse me? So you better believe today I went and got those pens, those erasable pens that Megan Summerall's been telling me about, because I got $10 off. Do you see what they just did there? Totally like, oh, because I shop at Whole Foods, and yes, Amazon owns Whole Foods, I got a discount. That encouraged me. Although I shop at Amazon all the time, it encouraged me to shop right now. So there's different ways and different things. Now, what did they do right there? Which this is another little learn for you, y'all. They incentivize people who are already their customers. I'm an Amazon Prime member. I'm a customer. But they know that. And I regularly shop at Whole Foods, and they said, let's encourage her to shop again. Do you see what they did? And I say this to you because I don't want you to forget your current customers. There may be some internal, some super secret sales, some special, some incentives that you can offer them to get them to buy throughout the holiday season from you. Totally worth it, right? What is the easier customer to have? A current customer is always an easier sell than a new one. You know that. So how can you incentivize your current customers to go ahead and take their orders or order a little bit more? And we went into that in the workshop. So those of you who are in the workshop, this is like a reminder to you, and you're probably yelling the answer. And yes, that's correct. You know the answer. If not, you should really come join us, because the holidays are so, so very important. Okay, so I went a little off topic there, but I want you to think about that as well too. What I want you to know is that the holidays are not for being rigid. It's not for, I'm going to do this and I'm not, if it's not working, I'm not going to turn. I'm just going to be the Titanic and we're just going to hit the iceberg and we're just going to sink. Heck to the no. This is your time to pivot, to juke and jive, to do your thing. Make sure you're tracking it so you know what's really working for you. And then you want to pivot like nobody's business and really be aware of what you're seeing in the market, what you're seeing your customers interested in. Think about your target market. What is going on in the world? And based on that, take full advantage. I'll give you an example that I gave my elite members, and actually I need to share this with all my members today. I'm going to do that. So you're hearing a week after, forgive me, but it just dawned on me the other day. I was right before I was doing some of my one-on-one coaching. I'm like, if I sold wine right now, if I was in Scout and Cellar, you know what I would be saying right now? I'd be saying, ha ha ha. No, I wouldn't say ha ha. I'd be saying, hey, 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 is what I'd be saying. I would be doing some cute posts, of course, responsible posts, but cute posts about now is the time to make sure that you have your wine for election night. You don't want to miss out on getting your orders in now to make sure you've got it fully stocked. And I would do cute. Do you have enough wine for election night? Make sure you have enough wine for election night. For those of you who are planning on like staying home for days, make sure you have enough after that. Make sure you have enough wine. Not getting into politics at all, but just the levity of it and the heck yeah, I need wine for the holiday season. I'm willing to bet that if you did a little run on this, and I told them this already because I believe like for that, actually for you guys, it might be today while you're listening to it, but you could guarantee they're going to get their product in time. And maybe you do like an election day prep sale where it's like, get your wine now, order your wine now. So it's ready for you. And you have your clean crafted wine in time for the election. Brilliant. I think it's brilliant. Because it's cognizant of what's going on right now. It's cognizant of the fact that wine sales are up right now, obviously, and people want more alcohol right now. And then you're giving them a clean crafted option for it. Things to think about as you're going in there. So that's just an example of during the holidays, be really cognizant of what's going on. How does your product fit into it? In that case, it's not even about a special. It's about a special because it's special, like get your election day wine now. But I'm not even offering any discounts or anything like that. I'm just saying, get your wine. You see what I'm saying? You can do it in different ways. It's really being on top of what's going on and pivoting and not waiting. You guys will hear me say this till the cows come home. Don't wait till the end of the month to try and make up what you may not have been getting during the month. You don't have time for that. You might enjoy month-end madness, and I've had people go, Roxanne, I love month-end madness. That's great. So happy for you. You can be really active at the end of the month without like rushing to try and hit your goals. Here's what's true though. Because people are shopping right now, they're going to be shopping in the moment. If you're waiting, and people only have a certain amount of money to shop on holidays, for holidays. So if you're waiting till Black Friday going, all right, everyone come shop, guess what? They already did. They already did. They did last year when things were normal, and they're really going to do it this year. When you have Amazon Prime days that are now over while you're all listening to this, when you have Black Friday sales going on in October, if you're waiting for November, you've taken too long. You've taken too long. Got to get that going now. Okay. All right. Which again, I say, if you don't know where to go or what to do, you should probably go to the Network Marketers Holiday Toolkit options that are available for you. We're meeting you wherever you're at. Just go to socialstoriesmembership.com/holiday. All right. I hope this has been good for you. You've got a few, if not 10 gajillion ways that you can really work the holiday season and some strategy. We will be talking about holidays throughout the holidays. Why? Because the holidays is the most important thing for your business as a network marketer. It is the most important. I'm going to say it again. It is the most important. That it's important for your goals now, and it's also important for 2021. So listen, Linda, if you're like Roxanne, holidays are important to me. They're important to me too. Absolutely. On a personal level, they're so important to me. That's why you got to start now. If you start now, you're not trying to figure it out while you're trying to figure out all the holiday family things. Start now and do it. I will bet, well, not even bet, I know because they've told me, because I challenged my elite members to get their holiday gift guide done in October, or by October 7th was the date I gave them. Get it done by October 7th. As a result of that, they are feeling a lot of that weight off. Now, they admittedly have told me, Roxanne, in September, but now it's done. Things are only going to get busier between now and the end of the year. Now it's done. So for you, if you didn't do it yet and you're planning on doing it, do it now, because it's only going to get harder. Your time is only going to get shorter. The urgency is only going to get stronger. So you might as well jump on the train, get it done now. So you've got that, I can do this, and you can apply it and work it. Okay. All right. We will be right back with a little bit of tech tip for you and a mindset moment. And of course, behind the scenes. All right, we're going to dive into a tech tip. And this really is a tech tip for those of you who have teams and you're working on ways to really connect with your team. I know the last thing you probably feel like you need is another app. However, if you are finding that Facebook groups is not giving you exactly what you want, or more importantly, not the group, but the chat is something, if the chat's not serving you right now, maybe the group is getting too big, the sanity of it, I really recommend checking out Telegram. Telegram is something that one of the masterminds I was in, they started using it and I enjoyed it, and actually said, okay, to my elite members, let's try and have that communication on the Telegram. On the Telegram app. And what I've found is it works twofold in different ways. For those who want to have that accountability on a regular basis and really be communicating all the time, they have that chat available for them. But it also allows me to have a separate channel where it's just messages and information that my elite members need to know, and they have access to that. So for those who are like, the chat, I can't do that right now, they can get that information, boom, boom, boom. But for those who want to keep that accountability and that community on a regular basis, they have that. But also for those who want community, but they want it on and off, right? Like, okay, not today, but today I'm ready for it. It actually starts right where you left off. So you know exactly which messages you didn't get a chance to read, which I've found tends to be a benefit. Some of my members have actually gone on to do it with their teams and have found great success in it. So something you might want to choose or just try it out if you're looking for another option. Really, when it comes to groups, Facebook groups is the place to be. But when it comes to that chat and that further dialogue, Telegram has proven to be quite successful, and you're seeing more and more people switch over to that or try it out. So there you go. We're going to right into the mindset moment. And the mindset moment I want to talk to you guys about right now is really thinking about everything you're doing right now from a place of gratitude. I am a big fan of gratitude because, well, I have a lot of gratitude for a lot of things. And one of the things I do every day, every morning during I spend about an hour in the morning, what you call my morning routine, that is a mixture of things. First and foremost, it starts with me reading the Bible. Then I go into journaling, prayer, saying and hearing my affirmations of my goals and where I am and where I will be, or I am in my head, but I'm there already, in my head at least, but I'm going there. I'm also really thinking about any major goals I have and taking time on that. But let me go back to the journaling. The first thing I do in the journal is write at least 9 things that I am thankful for. Um, at least. And what I find is that it's a great reflection on the day that has just passed. And it really centers me and reminds me of how great life really is, even in the middle of a pandemic. Even with the great loss that, my family has felt and others have felt through the pandemic, it reminds me of all the things that I'm thankful for. And so I would recommend, because what happens is this: when things, when you're stuck in that day that's gray and lonely, I speak in lyrics, it reminds us that the sun will come out tomorrow. And seriously, that the sun is already out, even when it's raining, okay? Even when you feel down and out. So the best way to get some sanity is to really have some gratitude for what you have. Don't think about where you want to be or what you haven't achieved or what you don't have. Think about what you do have. And the things I write in my journal that I'm thankful for, they really run the gamut. I mean, yes, this morning I was thankful for the chicken parmesan chicken that I got from the meat department at Whole Foods, because it was really good in our Caesar salad last night. And I was really thankful for that. But I also, of course, I'm always thankful for the one-on-ones and the sessions that I have with my members. I'm thankful for Scott. I'm thankful for my family. And I don't always focus on the big, like, of course, I'm thankful for God, and he knows that. And we talk about that. But I also, like, sometimes it's just, I'm thankful for just something like a new pen. You can be thankful for the largest and the smallest things, and it's all good. It's a great reminder to you that you're doing really well, that you're right where you need to be. Okay. So just try that if you haven't, or if you've forgotten. If you're like, I know I'm thankful, but have you taken time to write it down and to really look at it? Because if you haven't, I recommend, especially in this holiday season, which has already started for you because you're a network marketer, that you remember what you are thankful for. It will certainly help. All right, let's dive into behind the scenes. Currently, we are October 14th is when, so like the middle of October almost, that we're recording this. And what I'm working on currently, it's been interesting. So I told you last week that the summit is coming, and so excited about that. And I had a really intense 2-hour meeting with one of the team members on the summit. This really helps, like, with really making sure that the summit, that what your purpose of the summit is will translate to the attendees. And so that was awesome, and gave me not only a lot of vision and like focus on where we're going to go and how we're going to set up this summit. You guys, there's so many new things you're going to love about it. But how to make sure that when you end the summit, there's clarity. I think if you went to the summit last year, one of the things that happened, it was fantastic, but I critique myself, I critique what I do. One of the things I found was that the summit was like so much that a lot of people didn't know, what do I do next? I feel like I need to do it all. And oh my gosh, how am I going to make that happen? So this year with the summit, it really is going to the goal is, you'll have to let me know after it's done, if it's done, that is to give you clarity on your next steps. So you really know where you're going next and how to get there. And so I love that we've learned, and it's just going to be better, because why do a summit again if it's not going to be better, right? You always want to be better. So that is a happening and rolling beautifully. Also, since the last time you and I talked, I was, and you guys are going to meet her, because I already told her you're going to be on my podcast, just so you know. But my entire brand was critiqued and reviewed and audited by a social media expert. You're like, but Roxanne, aren't you? I am, but you can always be better. Regardless of what you do, there's always someone who can help you and really give you that focus. And y'all, It was bananas good. It was so good. It was funny because when we started it, and that was another 2-hour meeting, she was like, so I know you know what you're doing. So do you want me to go through all the things? I'm like, give it to me all, girl. I want to hear it all. And what I was really relieved about is that the message that I'm trying to portray apparently is working. She saw it, but it also gave me some really great vision on what to do. So I feel like between that, and if you recall, I was in a mastermind last week. So 2-day mastermind last week, then an audit and review of my entire social media, not only like my Instagram and Facebook, but also the free Facebook group. Are you part of that? By the way, you need to be. Social media for network marketers. So also reviewing that, all the things, right? All the things, even if she listens to podcasts, even the whole 9 yards. And then this review of the summit, like my head is just like, but I'm so thankful and so excited. There's some exciting things coming along the pipeline. And of course, they all surround you. They all are about you. And so I am so excited because this year is not over. Fourth quarter is not over. It's just begun. And you know that whether I drag you or give you little breadcrumbs to get you around, or I'm carrying you or running alongside of you or trying to catch up with you, we're going to make sure that 2020 ends that's better than you even dreamed when it comes to your network marketing business. I can't help you with homeschooling. That's not my bailiwick. I don't even have kids. I can't help you with your relationship, but what I can help you with is network marketing and really working your business on social media and giving you the tools and the encouragement you need to be that CEO and make those decisions and really brand yourself well. And so that is what I'm here to do. And on that note, I want to remind you that, well, first of all, I want to thank you so much for listening to this episode and all the podcasts. If there's someone who needs to hear it, share it with them for sure. And I, of course, want to remind you, you are not ahead. You're not behind. You are exactly where you need to be. And I, for one, am so happy you're here with me. I will see you next week. And thanks for listening to Roxtalks. Bye.